Why is Taiwan so important? President Biden has stated at least twice that the United States would defend Taiwan militarily if China were to attack. Donald Trump, during his first term, proudly took a phone call from the island's president, a move that many saw as a strong political signal. And while a war between the US and China isn't inevitable, it is becoming increasingly possible. If such a war does break out, there's a high chance it would be over Taiwan. But why? The US doesn't even officially recognize Taiwan as a sovereign state, and yet it's willing to risk a war with China to defend it. The reasons are economic, military, and geopolitical. Let's explore each of them. First, the historical background. Taiwan, officially the Republic of China, has been home to the Chinese nationalists since 1949. After losing the Chinese Civil War to the Communists, the nationalists retreated to the island, which had previously been under Japanese rule until 1945. Before that, China had annexed the island in 1683. Even earlier, it was settled by the Portuguese, who gave it the name Formosa, meaning beautiful. Since the Civil War, both the People's Republic of China and the Republic of China have claimed to be the legitimate government of all of China, including both the mainland and the island. For decades, the US and many other Western nations recognized Taiwan as the real China. But by the 1970s, diplomatic recognition shifted to the People's Republic of China. As a result, Taiwan lost its status as a recognized state on the world stage. Still, Taiwan maintains unofficial but close relations with countries like Germany and the United States. So the question often arises, if Taiwan was once part of China, why shouldn't it return? The answer lies not just in history, but in the present. Let's start with the economic reasons. Taiwan dominates one of the most critical industries in the world today: semiconductors. Taiwanese chipmakers, especially TSMC, lead the global market. The most advanced microchips, vital for everything from smartphones to fighter jets, are produced almost exclusively in Taiwan. If China took control of that industry, it could control global access to advanced technology. Worse, a war or invasion could destroy the industry altogether and cripple the global economy. But it's not just chips. A major portion of global trade passes through the Taiwan Strait. Disruption here would impact trade between Europe, Japan, South Korea, and China, a serious threat to global stability. Then there are the military and strategic reasons. Taiwan is part of what's known as the First Island Chain, a series of islands that effectively act as a barrier to China's access to the open Pacific. If Taiwan remains out of Beijing's hands, this chain allows the US and its allies to monitor and potentially block Chinese naval activity. US forces could place sensors, anti-ship missiles, air defense systems, and submarine hunting helicopters along these islands. But if China gains control of Taiwan, it would gain a strategic gateway to the Pacific Ocean. It could build military bases, station missiles, and use the Luzon Strait to project power further across the globe. However, let's take a look at the political reasons. Taiwan is a successful democracy, and a Chinese-speaking one. Its very existence proves that democracy and Chinese culture are not incompatible. This challenges the Communist Party's narrative that only authoritarian rule can bring prosperity and order to China. For the US, defending Taiwan is also about credibility. Here's where history, specifically the Melian dialogue from Thucydides, comes into play. In ancient Greece, Athens demanded that neutral Melos join its alliance. Melos refused, hoping to stay out of the war. Athens responded with brutal logic. Neutrality makes us look weak. Submit or be destroyed. Melos chose to resist. Athens crushed them. The lesson: if a great power abandons its allies, it invites more aggression. If the US fails to defend Taiwan, other countries in the region, like the Philippines, Indonesia, Singapore, South Korea, and even Australia, might lose faith in America's commitments. They may start aligning with China not out of loyalty, but out of fear. In that sense, Taiwan is not just a small island. It's a test of American resolve. In conclusion, Taiwan matters because of its technological dominance, its strategic location, and its symbolic value as a thriving democracy in a region increasingly shaped by authoritarian powers. If Taiwan falls, the consequences won't just be local, they'll be global. Would you risk a war over Taiwan? The United States just might.